Have you ever heard that humans use only 5% of their brains? It's one of the most popular claims in pop culture. Movies, motivational speakers, self-help books. They all love to say it. It sounds powerful, like there's some untapped genius hidden inside us all, that if we could just unlock it, we'd be unstoppable. But here's the truth. That statement is completely false. Science has shown again and again that almost every part of our brain is active throughout the day. Even when we're resting, even when we're sleeping, brain scans like fMRI prove that most areas of the brain light up depending on what we are doing, thinking, or feeling. So where did this myth even come from? Some believe it started in the late 1800s, when scientists admitted they didn't yet understand what every part of the brain did. They said something like 90% of the brain's function is still unknown, but that didn't mean it wasn't being used. It just meant science hadn't figured it out yet. Still, the idea got twisted, and before long, people were saying things like, we only use 10% of our brain. Then came movies like Lucy and Limitless, where characters unlocked 100% brain power and became superhuman. The myth became mainstream. But it's just that, a myth? Your brain is already incredibly efficient. It's responsible for every heartbeat, every breath, every memory, every emotion. If 95% of your brain truly wasn't being used, you wouldn't be sitting here listening to this. But there's a reason people love this idea. It gives hope. It tells us we're capable of more, that we only scratch the surface of our potential. And maybe that part is true. Not because we're only using 5% of our brain, but because we're not using 100% of our effort or our time or our focus. You don't need to unlock your brain. It's already on. What you can do is improve how you use it. You can train your focus. You can learn faster. You can practice mindfulness. You can challenge your thinking patterns. That's where real growth happens. So next time someone tells you we only use 5% of our brain, don't just nod and believe it. Ask questions. Think critically. And remember, your brain is not limited. It's powerful. And it's always working for you. Our brain is one of the most complex and fascinating organs in our body. And although we've made incredible discoveries about how it works, there's still so much that we don't know. This means that there are plenty of misconceptions and myths out there about how the brain works. One of the most popular myths is that we only use 10% of our brain. This myth has been around for decades and has been perpetuated by everything from self-help gurus to Hollywood movies. The problem with this myth is that it's just that, a myth. There's no scientific evidence to support it. In fact, science has shown that we use all of our brain. Different parts of the brain may be more active at different times, but there's no part of the brain that's completely inactive. Another myth is that the left side of the brain controls creativity and the right side controls logic. This myth may have originated from a misinterpretation of some early brain research that showed that certain functions were localized. 2. Different sides of the brain? For example, damage to the left side of the brain could result in an inability to process language, while damage to the right side of the brain could result in an inability to recognize faces. However, this does not mean that the left side of the brain is responsible for all language processing, or that the right side of the brain is responsible for all face recognition. These are just examples of the incredible plasticity of the brain and its ability to compensate for damage. These are just 2 examples of the many myths and misconceptions that exist about the brain. It's important to be critical of the information we find and to evaluate it using the scientific method. This means considering the source of the information, looking for evidence, and being willing to change your mind in light of new evidence. So the next time you hear a claim about the brain, be sure to ask, is this really true? You might be surprised at what you find out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.